Alright, and we're back. So in the last video, we got our pig steppin', we got our smithing template, and a little tiny bit of ancient debris. So, yeah, it's pretty rad, man. So, what is my plan now? It's plan 9, man. We gotta get more. We're not done yet. Alright, so, what I want to do is I want to get a fortress, because that's the main reason I went in there in the first place. So I want to make... Where do I put my sticks? You need 3 sticks, Seth. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid! I like how there's a crafting bench next to a crafting bench picture. I don't think I did that on purpose. I think that's just subconscious at that point. Let's just enchant this with whatever. I'm not really worried. There we go. Power 1 bow. Power up. Alright. So, not really sure how much more I want to take in. So, do you need sticks to work with loom? I would assume you do. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So, let's go ahead and grab... Ooh, what do I have I can waste? Smooth stone? You know, I don't really use it for anything, but if I do, at least I have it. You can say, use that god-awful shit you got over there. Maybe. I'll use these slabs then, I guess, for marking. I'll put this back in the toolbox. I might use that as a fuel source later on if I'm really bored. So we got our pick. Oh, fuck, shovel, that's right. The shovel this time, Seth, Jesus. Do I have a really shit shovel I'm willing to throw away? Because I think I do. I don't want to use loose ass, because loose ass is probably way better. I could use this. It's more damage, but I'm not really worried about it. Because we're not going to go all the way into the, like, guts if we find a fortress right now. I don't think I have enough to really enchant much to that bow. Anyways, so we probably need more arrows, but I think I have... Take these spectral arrows as well, just to use them up. And... Bum 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 bum. I love that song. I just like that little, like, interlude. It's really cool. So I guess I'll do just an iron shovel, I guess. This is why I have boxes of random shit all over the place, is exactly how I play Diablo. So, I'm like, yeah, I'll look at it later. It'll fucking sort itself out. Alright. So there we go. We got our shovel in case we need to use it. The one thing I didn't bring with me. Flint and steel, just to be safe. Probably. I'll just light the area up if we do find another place. I'd like to find, preferably, a fortress, but if I find another bastion, I'll go into it and at least peek my head in. I don't want to trade yet. I'm gonna see if I can take some more arrows with me as well. Because in case you couldn't notice, I tend to run out of them pretty goddamn fast. So, alright, let's do it again. Here we go. This is nether trip number 3. And I'm hoping I can just find a damn fortress as soon as humanly possible. So do I want to go in the direction I was just in? Because it does... Yeah, well, I guess we'll go through here again. We're not going to go... Oof. Well, before we do anything, I noticed it too. I didn't get the food I had with me. So I think... And while I grab that, I might as well plan this out. I think the best thing we can do is probably find more adjacent biomes to that basalt delta, because they might actually be more, like, chances for them to spawn a fortress on. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense to me. I don't even know if that's part of the game's code, but if it is, fuck, I'm so smart. I hope not. If I'm smart, that's not good. So let's go ahead and see if we can I haven't gone this way, have I? I don't remember it. I know there's a glowing biome down there. I just want to try and find open nether, because that's usually how I find most structures in this game. So I'll terraform up. I don't mind doing this. The nether is whatever. You can just tear it apart. It doesn't really matter how it looks, in my opinion. Okay, so we have already been over there, so I guess that kind of... Oh, I thought that was one of them. I was like, what did I do to you? I got gold on. Fucking... Whatever, man. Just be that way. See what I care. So, I guess I'll go through the Basalt Delta again. But I'll try to go... to the end, kind of close to where the, that bastion is. So if you didn't see the last video because you're an absolute weirdo and you like to watch videos randomly, I don't blame you. But I totally blame you for something. I've already raided a bastion and got all the things you need out of a bastion, really. That's not really much more safety, Seth. Anyways. I can pretend it is, okay? Don't judge me. And I found all the stuff. You already watched the intro of the video. You know what I got. You know what's up. They know what they did. If you've never seen Hell's Kitchen, look up Hell's Kitchen, I Ain't No Bitch. That's one of the funniest things on television ever. Even if it's fake, which I genuinely don't think that was. That guy was just crazy and probably on meth. It's amazing. So I want to go up that way, because I think that might be more conducive to the spawn pattern. I don't know, I can't confirm that, but I feel like that's the case. So, I don't want to just pillar up, because I want to be able to naturally get up there. So we'll get up on top of it. Get up on top of that thing! So I know that that way there isn't, because we already glanced down there when we were doing that bastion. So yeah, if you've never seen Hell's Kitchen, it's not very good. I watched like 12 seasons of it, and I don't mean to be, you know, bragging about it, but I consider myself kind of a connoisseur of that show. There was an early season where this guy, he's just this stupid, skinny piece of shit, like meth addict, and he's like, I think Gordon's telling him to, like, name who they have to do for elimination after a challenge or whatever, and he somehow is the guy to do it, and he's like, they know who they are. They know what they did. And then, like, Gordon Ramsay's just like, okay. Contestants and why. They know who they are. They know what they did. And he just gets more and more annoyed at him, like, I know you're not very intelligent, so one more fucking time. And he just says, I ain't no bitch. I know what they know what they did. It's so fucking funny. It is the funniest damn shit ever. Oh my god. It is the funniest. I love it. So I think I'm just gonna not try to do that. Let's try to just get up there the old-fashioned way. There might be a lava bed up there too, so... Jesus Christ. Oh. If there's one thing in this game that still manages to get me, it's fucking gas. Damn it! Their hitboxes need to be fixed someday. They really do. What did he just drop? That didn't look like the tier. What was that? Oh well. I don't want to have to pillar up there, because it always feels so dirty, but... Oh hell, there's a skeleton over there? Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. So yeah, that might be lava up there, so I'm better off just getting on top of it naturally. God damn. When shit's generating and I get that tiny stutter, it just freaks me the fuck out. It really does. Ugh. But yeah, he's getting just progressively more and more exasperated, this fucking dumbass, because he's trying to act like a tough guy. And it's just... I don't think that was fake. I genuinely think that was, like, that guy was just that stupid. And I love it. It's so good. It is so funny. Bum 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 bum. You see, that's the thing in that song everyone knows, isn't it? The bum 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 bum. Okay. So... I want to get up there, that's all I can tell you. So I pillared out that way. Now, I really, 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 really would like to get up there on top of this bullshit and get into that next biome. Because What? That's new. I've never heard that until just now. The soul sand makes a unique sound when it breaks. I've never heard that before. Wow, that's so fucking cool. Like I said, everyone's probably like, it's done that for like years. I'm like, I haven't played in a couple of years, dude. That's so cool. I like that. That's neato. Okay. I love the little touches they put in. But I will say, I don't like the cobblestone, or sorry, the netherrack look. It looks really ugly. Okay. It looks like fucking a can of, like, Frankenstein beans or some shit. Frank Sinatra beans. Okay, let's do this the right way. Bum, 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 bum. Now I'm gonna be doing that all day. I'm gonna be doing that in my sleep. I'm gonna wake up and go bum, 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 bum every 2 minutes now today, aren't I? You could be like, Seth, why are you doing this? Because I want a visual identifier from a distance, too. Because I get lost really fucking easy in the nether. I sometimes don't, but, like, it's so easy to get turned around in here. Having something I can visually see from a distance to make me go, oh, hey, look, that's not where I was just at, is really handy. You tell I get a little tense? Okay. So I think that's the top of the bastion we were just in. So let's make a pillar or something so I can know where I'm at. There we go. It's a wonky cross. Sorry. If you've never heard that, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's Behind the Crooked Cross by Slayer. You see, that's how you know I'm an actual Slayer fan, is because I can name more than one song. I've done this before in my Daggerfall playthrough, but it's true. I could actually, like, memorize a lot of the Slayer shit that people just say, oh, yeah, Slayer, Rain and Blood. It's like, fuck you, dude. It's funny because I guarantee you the people that just are, like, bullshit Slayer fans, I guess the term I'm looking for here, as the metal kids as myself would say, poser. They just say, oh yeah, I like Slayer, Rain and Blood, Angel of Death, yeah. And I just want to say, what song is Rain and Blood, and what album is it from? Or sorry, what song order is Raining Blood in, and what album is it off of? That is like, that's how you can catch people like that. It's so sad, but it's so true. And they just sort of look at you like, it's Raining Blood? No, it's Rain in Blood. And it's the last song on the album. I love that album, but I think South of Heaven's better. I called that out in my fucking SH2 video, but it's true. I was like, you know, it's true. I think South of Heaven's a better album. I just do. I mean, Rain and Blood's a great album. Let's not beat around the bush. But it's 20 fucking minutes long. And you can say, oh, well, it's pretty intense. And I'm like, yeah, but there's not as much, like, musicmanship on display as, like, South of Heaven or, Seasons of the Abyss. Seasons of the Abyss is a lot better. Seasons of the Abyss is my favorite Slayer album. Like, hands down. That's just the best. And then, you can argue, by the way, why aren't you using your Soul Sand shoes you just found? Because I want to actually take my time and see around the area. Because if I don't, I'm going to just careen off of shit, and I don't know the area yet. But it's like, yeah, South of Heaven's a really good album, too. Like, it's probably one of their last good albums. I don't think Slayer has what I call objectively bad albums, but I can say they have some pretty standard albums. I think Diabolos de la Satan or whatever it's called, or Musica or whatever. That one's okay. I don't think that's not a bad album. It's just kind of average. I think World Painted Blood was, I think that's their last album if I'm not wrong. That one was okay. I mean, it's just kind of alright. I much preferred, oh, what the hell is it? Oh, God Hates Us All. That's probably the other one. That's a really good album. I know it's like angsty teen music, but it's the vibe of that album is so unparalleled in my mind. Like, that's like 2000s edge encapsulated in music form, and it's so cool. I love it. I love the guitar work on that album a lot, especially on the title track. I think, is that the title track? No, it's Disciple. That's fucking rad. I love that riff. It's really good. Yeah, I didn't get into Slayer till a few years ago, but I would say I'm a Slayer fan. I don't particularly think they're my favorite. There's a massive windstorm. Let me, fucking shit's nasty out there. Wow. But yeah, I love like their early work as much as the next person, but I think that their later work is just kind of okay. A lot of it feels phoned in at times. Not like in a bad way. I mean, Cannibal Corpse is one of my favorite bands. Yeah, they're my favorite album. I know. Yeah, I said it. They're a good like band, and they haven't really produced what I'd call objectively a bad album. Same with Slayer. I don't think they have a bad album, but there's definitely phone-it-in albums. Like, Gore Obsessed is an okay CC album, but I think it's not as good as like something like The Wretched Spawn. That's my favorite CC album. Nothing beats The Wretched Spawn. Like, that's perfect death metal. I'm sorry if you don't like it. That's your own problem. That shit's amazing. That is what death metal sounds like. I also quite liked, Kill was a good album. Evisceration Plague is probably my second favorite, and I know it's very... you can kind of say it starts to fall into the tropes of, like, hardcore, like, sounding, like, death metal. But I think it's really fucking solid. Like, just Evisceration Plague itself as a song is fucking awesome. Dun, 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 dun. I can't really do it with my voice, but, like, I love that fucking just... It's got a good progression. It's fucking awesome. I get chills. Scourge of Iron's off that album, I think, correct? It's mean. That's fucking mean sounding shit. That's an awesome album, dude. That's good shit. If you don't like that album as a metal fan, there's just something wrong with you. You can't have your patches. I'm gonna rip them off of your fucking jacket and make you eat them if you say that's a bad album. I won't do it, but you know what? I do it. It's true. Alright, so let's see if we can find the outskirts of this, because there might be a fortress in here still, because this is a large area. Yeah, fuck him up. Get him good. Fuck him. Yeah, fuck that guy up. Fuck storage. You got one of them. Do your little shitty dance. It's cute. I like it. I love when they dance. I've only seen them do it like twice, and it's really funny. If you've never seen it, I'm not going to spoil it. You just got to look it up after you've listened to Evisceration Plague. I don't know. I actually have not heard, what is it, Unbridled Violence or whatever it's called. It's like the one with the cover where the gal's like licking the air, and then like you take the insert out and she's like got her vagina open or whatever. That's not a CC album, but you know what I mean. It's the one that came out after Red Before Black. I really liked Red Before Black, but it does have it's just what I call a pretty average album. I don't think it's bad. Hideous Ichor was fucking awesome. Like, that's a hell of a ending track, and it's awesome. I think that's Not my favorite. Like I said, it's not my favorite. Cool, we got XP for walking. Yay. So, but you know what I mean? Fucking, that is a sexy... And then even Red Before Black, fucking... There's something in me that just says the moment you put choir-style death metal vocals with a high-pitched, almost black metal fray on top of it, and you just fucking layer that shit in just right, it is the sexiest sounding shit ever. It is so fucking cool. That is one of the coolest things in that album, is that it's like when he's screaming Red Before Black, it's like they have like a snarl and a fray put together, and it just sounds vicious. I'm like, that is exactly how you do it. It's gonna be delicious, okay? It's so fucking good. You can say, oh, you're one of those scum that likes black metal, and you know what? That's fair. You can call me out, you can call me a shitlord human being because I like black metal. If you don't know, okay, for those of you who don't know, there's this really fucking dumb divide between black metal and death metal. If you're unfamiliar with metal culture, this is just weird, and this is hopefully why you understand it sounds so stupid. So, according to the historians of black and death metal, black metal kind of let me put my teeth back in here. There we go. So it arrived kind of in the late 80s, if I remember correctly, because as a response to death metal being quote-unquote too mainstream in Norway and Scandinavian areas, right? So I'm going to loosely do it. I hope I don't fuck something up, because if you fuck up anything in metal culture, we're going to rip your fucking arms off because you're wrong about one infinitesimal fucking little tiny thing. And it's true. I do it all the time. But so there's this fucking dumb divide of which is better. Does it really matter? They're both good. And here's the other problem. Okay, if you say I like black metal to the uninitiated idiot who just gets their information from shit off of Wikipedia, they're gonna say, are you a Nazi? Because I heard there's this thing called NSBM, and I just want to say, God fucking damn it, that's not what that whole... No! Just because there's people that do it does not mean that all people that listen to black metal are fucking anti-religious, anti-human. No. If you like a music, that just means you like a music. You can have those traits, but it does not mean you have to be that way. Jesus Christ. I personally like black metal more because I feel like the riffs are more generally creative. Death metal can be a bit too clean sometimes for my liking. And that's not to say it's bad. I just say I prefer the kind of weird, slow, kind of off-kilter, strange, cosmic style. I also like doom metal quite a bit. So, I mean, I don't have any bands I can name off the top of my head. Volt Thrower's pretty good. Like, Volt Thrower's one that comes to mind. I guess you could say Black Sabbath. I mean, the best way I like slowed down, just you get to appreciate the sound more. And I think black metal gives you more opportunity for that because a lot of it is very intentionally structured to where it sounds creepy. It's more atmospheric. It's more... You get more bang for your buck in my mind. Yeah, you still get the stereotypical fucking 3,000 mile per hour double blast beat that we've all heard a billion fucking thousand times. That's fine, but okay, I'm gonna be the most basic black metal bitch ever, by the way. Okay, look up Freezing Moon. I'm saying this for people who've never listened to the genre as a whole. Look up Freezing Moon. Look up that intro, alright? I'm gonna just do it for you. Boom! 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 It's so fucking creative. I love Mayhem's first album so much. It's so fucking... It is like the definition of why I say metal is more than just banging on shit. There's a lot of like really cool like shit you can do with it when you give it more creativity. And fucking hell, you just don't get that, you know, with a lot of like hardcore, because a lot of hardcore is just the same thing. And I've seen a lot, and I'm talking like, let me get readjusted here. I've probably seen more hardcore and emo bands in my life than I have death metal or like black. I have never seen a black metal band live in concert because most of the people that make it never leave their house, but also because it's not very popular in Oregon. We do have our own subgenre of black metal, if you're curious. It's called Pacific black metal, or sorry, Pacific Northwest black metal. It's inspired primarily to sound a lot more akin to like traditional Scandinavian black metal, which I prefer. I do hate to say it, but I do like it a lot more. Do I have a favorite? Let's see. It's pretty tough, because there's a lot of really good bands I've listened to. But as a whole, if I'm going to be the most basic bitch ever, right? My favorite, it's going to be Batushka, because that's the band that got me into the genre. Real Batushka, not the fucking Metal Blades bullshit. That fucking cunt that, like, stole that guy's entire lineup and image and discography style. Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit, and I've actually listened to Panhita as a... I think it's Panhita, isn't it? It's like the name of the album he stole. Well, not stole, but the one that's on the replicated bullshit one. It's not... I listened to it out of spite, probably, but I was like, you know, it's not bad, but it's just so generic. It doesn't sound good. It's not... It's got, like, Batushka flair, but without all the actual trappings of Batushka. You listen to that, and then you listen to Requiem, which is their second album, and you just go, holy... Because it came out, like, what, 2 months after that dropped on Metal Blade? And they're like, oh yeah, well fucking listen to the real thing. And that shit fucking blows that out of the goddamn water, instantly. Like, it is just so good. Like, oh man. Like, I love the intro. I showed that to my dad, and he was like, that's fucking cool. And my dad does not like extreme, like, style. It's called extreme metal. That's the subgenre it's usually categorized as. And he was like, that's really fucking cool. He's not a fan of black metal, but I got him to really appreciate that, because I was like, oh, listen to this shit, Dad. He's like, okay. He's like, oh, okay, I'll listen to that. I probably heard it on the radio. My dad loves metal. That's where I get it from, by the way, if you're curious. So he listened to that, but like, I also like Black Braid. He is a Native American black metal musician from the Adirondacks area. It's really fucking solid. Look up, if you don't believe me how goddamn good that shit is, look up Black Braid full EP. You can probably find it on Black Metal Promotions, the YouTube channel, I think. Yeah, that's the name. It's fucking awesome. That is a goddamn spine-chilling album, because it's very comprehensible if you're unfamiliar with black metal, because a lot of people just say it sounds like screaming and garbage, which a lot of it can. It can sound like what I like to describe as sad Gollum in a shower, or it can sound like squealing dead animal, and or I've heard people say Nazgul screech, and I'm like, what the fuck do you get that from? I've heard not Alpha Omega Sin, that guy's whatever. He's metal, but I don't know. You see, it's this where I'm like, we're weird people. We're like, oh yeah, whatever, he's metal, I guess. But like, look at this shit. Holy fuck. Look at how many fucking mobs are over here. I am scared to shoot that skeleton, because if I miss, it's going to be a bad time. So it looks like we're not going to find one that direction, but I'll keep looking until I run out of arrows and supplies. Or I lose my sanity and just give up and find it off camera. But Jesus. Oh man, you listen to that shit and you tell me that's not some of the most badass sounding music of all time. Look up The River of Time Flows Through Me. That's a fucking incredible black metal piece. That's just an incredible music piece as a whole. And it's infused with like native mythology. I don't remember what tribe he's from, but fucking hell, that is... I'm literally getting goosebumps talking about it. I fucking love that album. It's just... Oh, it's so good. And the guy that did the drum work was like in the comments, like, yeah, this guy's super friendly. He was really cool to work with. And like, I haven't heard his second EP. But he also uses like drone flute in like a few of the tracks, and like this really cool Oh god, I'm getting like fucking chills talking about this. Just look it up. Look up Black Braid. You can just type in Black Braid full EP, and like the first thing that comes up, you're gonna find it, and you're gonna go, "Wow, Seth, thanks." It's fucking rad. But yeah, that album's just so good. I could listen to that. I listen to that at work all the time. It's fucking awesome. Enslaved is another good one. I really like Enslaved. Look up Enslaved Frost. That's a. It's all in. I think that's in Swedish. I might be wrong, but I think that's all in Swedish. But it doesn't matter. It's fucking awesome. They're so good. I love Enslaved. Their first, I think, is their first EP. They released was actually in tribute to Euronymous. Say what you will about him as a person, but he was a really good guitarist. I can't say in the debate of which is better, Varg or Euronymous as a guitarist. That's going to come down to your preference. For me personally, I think Euronymous was a more technical player, and Varg is more of a experimental player. He's not a good bassist, I can say that for a fact. Varg Vikernes is a shit bassist. Want to know how his bass lines always sound? Every single song? Do, 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 do. That's every single fucking Burzum bass line. I just did it for you. Are you happy? I am. I'm happy I did it because it's very easy. And then you know how you get that bass tone? You just add a tiny bit of distortion. That's it. You down tune your bass to B tuning or D tuning. Actually, I think it's in D minor. And you just play with a slight bit of distortion, and you just do that over and over. You play that fucking scale 1,000 times. That's how you do it, okay? But no, Enslaved is a fucking awesome just band. Their first album is so fucking good. And I think they actually had, like, am I correct in saying this? They had, like, replicated, like, Euronymous' style just because a lot of them knew each other. If you're ever curious, the Norwegian black metal scene and, like, its history is fucking amazing. It's absolutely, like, it just doesn't sound real in this day and age because, you know, pretty much everybody inside of it either is in prison, dead, or a combination of both. Yeah. But, at the same time, pretty much everybody in that was a tight... Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's a jockey. I didn't know they could do that. Yeah, they were a tight-knit community back then. It was small, it was niche, but it was tight-knit. And, you know, it just, you would never get that in this day and age. You would never, ever, even with modern metal, like, ever, get, like, that level of community involvement and, like, friends and shit doing things like that together. That would just never happen. I'm not trying to sound like a boomer here, but it just wouldn't happen. Like, the fucking recording process of Mayhem's first album is an absolute nightmare. It's amazing that fucking even took off that it did. You know, we all know the story about Varg and fucking Euronymous. We all have heard the story a million times. We all know about the death photo. We all know this, okay? Anybody who's familiar with these things just kind of knows these things. They're like surface level iceberg shit. But, you know, I still think, like, there's nothing quite like that scene at that time. I know I wasn't technically alive or conscious during it, but that community and that level of involvement, I mean, just trying to get famous is admirable, right? But, like, they were, like, just kids. They were, like, in their, like, what, early 20s or not even 20. Like, they were, like, barely adults at that point. And, like, it's fucking amazing. If there's any documentaries I can recommend on black metal, Before the Light Takes Us is okay. It's not bad. It's a little cringe, but that's black metal for you. So, I think that was when Varg was still in prison, too. Okay, for those of you who are curious why I keep mentioning him, Varg Vikernes killed the guitarist for Mayhem, Arseth something. I can't remember his first name off the top of my head because I don't speak Scandinavian. Even though it's part of my cultural identity. Whatever, doesn't matter, right? So he killed him basically he killed him. There's no competition. Varg lied and said it was like self-defense. Yeah, you stabbed someone 27 times in like self-defense, right? Totally. And basically he went to jail and he kind of turned into a crazy neo-Nazi, and then he said, oh, I was just trying to be edgy, and so no one can take him seriously either, because he's kind of a goofball, but he's also really shitty. Also, a lot of early black metal bands were extremely controversial, and I don't mean like, oh, they put upside down crosses on the stage. No! They would do some pretty heinous shit. One of the most egregious examples I can think of off the top of my head is, that's the fortress, perfect, yes, this is all I came here for. We're gonna go in there with gear. This is awesome. But yeah, they basically... Well, I want to get the brewing stands in Netherwart. That's really all I want in here. Okay, let's take an example. Emperor. The singer of Emperor, I think one of them... Oh, just look up, like... I can't remember his name, but just look up, like, all the moments where he just stands there for, like, a minute and then just goes, El Satan. It's just, like, no reason. He's drinking wine or something. There was a Vice documentary you can look up on that guy. It's really shit because it's Vice. What do you expect? But, like, I will agree. He, like took them out to his little cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere. He climbed a mountain. And you know what's funny is I can get what he was trying to do. Either find a way to kill them, but they had cameras. He also tortured a dude, by the way. He like, kept him in his house for, like, what, like 2 days and beat the shit out of him and tied him up with a belt and things. He's fucking crazy. Not in a good, fun way. But, anyways, he like, took them out in, like, the middle of the woods, and he was trying to teach them. They're like, so why do you not like to be around people? And he just sort of, like, stares at them, like, for, like, about a half a minute, and just says, I think you should leave, or something like that. And they're like, why? Why should we leave? And I actually got why he was pissed, because he was trying to show them, I don't need modern shit. I don't need... you know, people that tell me what to do. I don't need to, like, do this. I subsist off of this and have my own kind of, like, way in life. And, like, I persist through preservation and stuff. It's kind of admirable. It's cringy to some people, but I actually do understand what he was trying to go for, okay? But, like, he basically just stares at them. People like, how rude. And he's like, I'm like, he invited them out to where he lived. He showed them how he lived. He showed them his paintings. He showed them his own homemade wine he made. He showed them, like, all this stuff. And it was all just from his bare hands and just perseverance. And they're just like, so why don't you want to be around people? You know, that's a cunty thing to do. I'm just going to say it. I understand why he was upset. I don't really respect him, or... Oh, I respect him, but I don't really care for him that much. But I understand why he was upset. Because he was actually being very kind and gesturative to, like... essentially outsiders, right? And they just sat there and fucking looked at him. Why don't you like to be around people? Why do you like to live in the woods, you fucking weirdo? They didn't say that, but that's actually, in my mind, that's what they did. They just basically disrespected him, like, after he was nothing but polite and hospitable. And he fucking was like, this is all I need. What don't you get? And I think that's a huge thing that you can learn from people like me. And people that are in black metal communities and stuff, right? You can learn a lot about how people function when they've, like, chosen to isolate themselves. You can learn a lot about people like that. Yeah, they're not exactly stable. Most of them are pretty mentally unhinged. But... Or, like, when Fenriz is, like, on the phone, I hope you fucking die! Just hangs up the phone in, that documentary I was talking about. But, it's one of those things, like, yeah, if you don't get it, of course you're not going to get it. Why the fuck would you get it? That's the point. It's not meant to be gotten, it's individual. Like, and that's... I mean, you can probably already tell Seth's an ultra-goth weirdo. He understands fringe culture because he's part of fringe culture. That's pretty obvious, right? But people were like, oh, that guy was a dick to them. And I'm like, no, they were a dick to him. They just fucking took everything he said and, like... He was nothing but polite and kind, and actually, I'm dead serious. If I didn't know anything about him, and someone was that polite, and, like, just cool, and, like, willing to share their work and their interests and their hobbies and their passions and their even going as far as to tell them this is just where I live, it's beautiful, isn't it? Like, that's so fucking admirable. I would be like, oh yeah, totally, dude, that's super cool. Like, I would love that. That would be so fucking cool to do. And then people just, fucking, why you like Satan, fucking weirdo, fucking live in the woods, fucking eat steak, drink wine, fucking, ugh. Yeah, when you take aside all the cringy shit that some of the bands did, it's definitely a very unfriendly community. Death metal is a much more friendly community. I will say that. It's a much more, I wouldn't say forgiving, but it's still a very... I'm going in here to get, like, a dozen blaze rods, by the way. It's a much more forgiving and laid-back community style. Not all communities, and, you know, it just depends on the band, depends on the people, depends on the crowd, like, the people that go there, like, whatever, you know. There's a lot of, like, factors that go into this. I'm gonna look around a little bit more, just keeping this a note. I need another wart's what I really need. You know, it just depends. Everyone's different, you know. Every band's different. Every fan base is different. You know, I think Xasther is a fucking mess, but I love his music. It's fine. I like it. I don't really like American black metal as much either as the next guy, but it's okay. It's not bad. But you know, it's like there's people that look at it and they just say it's cringy and weird. Yeah, of course, you had the fucking overweight weirdos that go out in the middle of the woods and LARP and, like, shaky cam, badly recorded music. But can you really blame them? You know, I'll give people shit for cosplaying. I think cosplaying's cringe and weird, but you know what? If it makes you happy, I don't care what makes you happy. As long as you're not killing people and, you know, hurting kids or whatever, I don't really care what you do. I don't care what you believe in. And that's something that ideology stems from a lot of those cultures I'm part of. So it's like, we're not all a bunch of psychopaths, you know, we're a pretty level-headed groups of individuals. We just have a lot of problems. I think I've never quite felt comfortable with other people. And I mean, I'm not saying that just to sound like fucking edgy because I was just talking about black metal. I mean, it's true. I've felt alienated and isolated my whole life, including where I grew up. It was such a bizarre ecosystem, and, you know, I have all these weird psychological issues, not just from that, but from, like, just people hurting me in the past, and a lot of other horrible things, and, you know, I've never felt like I fit in. I never felt like I, you know, mattered to anybody. This sounds deep, but it's part of who I am as a person, and it's like, you know what never judged me? The bands I listened to. The people that I knew shared the same interests, the same hobbies, and the same passions, the same like everything. You may not be the same person, but you're there for the same goal, right? You like the music. And if the music has a good message and it resonates with you, it never sounds unpleasant. It never sounds, you know, weird or cringe or whatever. You know, I can't recommend I almost said BDSM. Well, that too. I can't recommend people to listen to, like, NSBM because that's fucking horrible, but if people want to listen to that, that's their problem. But you know what? We can at least point and say that's where the lunatics are at. Because, yeah, it's fringe idiots that are dumb. That's all it is to it. The other thing that I think is important to know is Atmo Black and, like, what is it, SDBM? I've never felt like I could convey those emotions or those thoughts or that feeling or those just atmospheric, weird, errant feelings that just go through your mind every day. That's the closest shit that if you listen to that, like, kind of music, I can recommend a few. Look up, like, War Within by Pathway. Like, just that kind of resonant, weird, disconnected feeling. That's how you feel when you're really severely mentally ill. And to hear it and you find comfort in the weird, you find comfort in what is creepy or, you know, what people consider taboo. And it's like, it doesn't glorify it, it just helps you cope with it. And Korn's my favorite band, Slipknot's one of my favorite bands, Manson's one of my favorite bands. And you notice a huge pattern with all these bands is their music is intense. It's palatable to some people, like a normal person, I guess. You know, people go, oh, I love Marilyn Manson, but they've only heard The Beautiful People. And I'm like, you know, that's your only approach? That's cool. I'm not gonna say you're a poser, but you're not... You're just missing out on a huge, huge variety of music from that man. And, you know, it's like... People can say, oh, well, he looks weird, ergo he must be a Satanist, or ergo he must be a fucking weird, like, sex-crave lunatic. No, that's not true. You know, it's like when Amber Heard's fucking, like, tried to do the whole bullshit with Johnny Depp and all that. You know what happened? It wasn't true. And you know what happened? Manson got dropped from his fucking record label, the whole bunch of shit that was not true, and it destroyed his career. That fucking sucks. And, you know, you can be like, oh, well, Manson took his ribs out. If that's your only perception of him, then fuck off. You're not part of it. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna be into it. You know, it's like, that's my point. If you aren't into it and you're just ignorant, that's your own problem. If you're willing to look into stuff, it's more important, in my opinion. You should always be interested, or at least competent, of the things that you don't like. And I think metal is a good introduction to that. You know, one of my favorite song lyrics of all time from Manson that I just think hits so fucking hard is, I think it's from... I know it's off of Hollywood for sure. I'm still a little tired, but I'm trying to think of what it is. I know the song lyric, it's, I wish I was good enough. That little tiny sentence, I can get like chills right now thinking about it. It's before, I know in the structure of the album I know what it is. It's before, I can't remember the name of the song. It's been a while since I've listened to the album, but I have it like memorized, obviously. But it's just, the song starts off with like acoustic guitar, and it's just like, heaven wasn't made for me, I wish I was good enough, or like shit like that. Like, it's a very fucking simple line, but it hits like so god. It almost makes me tear up. Like, I'm dead serious. You can be like, fucking cringe. It's like, yeah, I have emotions. Fucking, so what? Like, you know, shit like that. When you've been isolated by people, when you've been, you know, when I was younger, I lived in an extremely religious, crazy area. And my neighbors genuinely thought I was a Satanist. They thought, like, all this bullshit about me, right? And you could be like, whoa, Seth got deep quick. It's just part of who I am, and I'm not uncomfortable, like, talking about it. Like, when you get, like, into those crazy situations, you know, it's like, oh, it fucks you up. Like, and then you feel like you don't belong because a few people have told you don't belong. Like, that you're not good enough. Or you're not, like, meant to be good because of how you look. Or what you like to do. Like, even though you're a normal person, they don't think you are. They treat you like you're a separate human being. Like you're a subspecies or something, you know? That shit, that is the core of what, like, heavy metal feels like when you've been isolated. And you get this weird pent-up hatred towards people for shit like that. And it's justified in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking product of what it's like when people have, like, abused other people. Like, culturally and, like, mentally, whatever, like ostracized, whatever, you know. It's like, and when you can listen to a music that encapsulates that for you and makes you help you rationalize with it and understand and move through that shit, it's the most cathartic thing. It's better than therapy. It's better than sex. Nothing is better than that. It is, without a doubt, one of the most, you know, you will never be the same after you become into heavy metal like someone like me. You will never, ever, ever go back. You can't go back. Like, you can, you know, be like, oh, I'm gentrified now and cut all my hair off, but you still have the message in your heart. And that is, like, you could be like, that's so deep. You dickhole, you have the thing I need. Fucking deep conversation, then dickhole. But, no, it's true. Like, when you've been isolated and ostracized or just made to feel subhuman, And that's why I hate, like, I'm gonna be real, this is gonna get deep fucking real quick. When people try to use, like, social politics and, like, quote-unquote woke culture and act like you don't understand because you haven't been through it, I'm like, yeah, I totally have never understood. I don't know what it's like to be made fun of for who I am, how I speak, how I look, every single facet about my personality. No, go ahead, say I don't understand. Like, it sounds edgy, but it's true. You don't fucking go back after you've been treated that way. You either move forward or you stay stuck until you have to move forward. It's very fucking damaging. And, like, I don't know, man. I would, like, hesitate to say this without, like, sounding edgy, but if it wasn't for heavy metal, I think I'd be dead. And I'm fully well aware of how, ooh, that's so deep and edgy, fucking cut yourself on all that edge. It's like, yeah, dude, I was like fucking inches away from just swallowing a bottle of Xanax when I was like 15 and just driving myself into a pool of water. I had no fucking problem with thinking that. But you know what pulled me out of it? Other people and the support of other people. Like, that were into the things I was into, like heavy metal and stuff. And obviously medication and therapy and, you know, the real deal stuff. But it's like, yeah, if you ever are like, what is it like to be in heavy metal culture? It's the most fucking open people you'll ever come across. The reason a lot of us are so closed off is because of how we were treated by other people most of the time. It's not like we're just cold-hearted assholes because we're just cold-hearted assholes. No. It's just, a lot of us are like that, unfortunately, because of circumstance, and most of it's out of our control. Like, it's just how other people have treated us. Like, think about how that one little sentence, I wish I was good enough, that, like, when you feel that way forever, like, youth to teenage to adult, it hits way different. Like, and it's so, oh man, you will never understand it until you've been it. I actually don't envy people that, like, have been through what I've been through, because I feel bad for us. I really do. Like, it's like mutual, like, envy and, or not envy, but I think I fucked up myself. So tired and getting there already. But, this is awesome. Loot room. Holy shit. There is so much loot in this place. Goddamn. Goddamn, goddamn! Anyways, there's so many people like me that you see people that are just like, I don't know what it's like to be depressed, and I just sit there and go, oh, you're fucking lucky, dude. You don't want to know what it's like. It's not fun. Or you don't know what it's like to be, you don't feel like a human being. That is shit that I wish that people understood and could, like, I mean, I don't want them to experience anything like that. I don't believe in vengeance or anything, but, like, you know what I mean? I'm glad people don't have to experience what I've been through, because it's genuinely hellish, a lot of it. Yay, that we can get our fucking Skeleman horse. Yes, this is all I'm happy for. So happy now. But when people are just like, oh, you must be a Satanist because you have long hair and wear black, that shit will make you just hate people more. And you'll get, like, to the point where you're just like, I don't feel fit in. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm a human being, and you feel completely subjugated to everything else. You just don't feel like you belong. And we got a fucking armor trim. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, this is a good raid, dude. I want that soul sand. Like, we're gonna go back home, because I think we got everything we need. And we'll cap off the blaze stuff later, because we need to get potions first to do that. Because we need fire res. That's what we really need. And I have no food left, so we gotta get the fuck out of this place. And hopefully not get killed on the way back. But yeah, it's like, oh, you can laugh all you want, but you're fucking edgelord McGee here. It's like, yeah, at least someone knows how to engage their emotions. You fucking jealous or something? Does that scare you? Good. If it does, you're a fucking sad, lonely little person. And I don't feel bad for you at all. Fucking sheep! I love that word. It's a red flag word for me when people say that word. I'm like, uh-oh, they said sheep. Now they're going to say something really dumb. Oh, it's sad, but it's so true, man. It really is. Oh, but yeah, when people are like, oh, heavy metal is just cringe. Yeah, it looks cringe to the outsider, but, like, when you're on the inside, it's totally different. Emo's cringe, though. Fucking emo's gross. Goth is 10 times better than fucking emo. All I gotta say, man, goth girl can't beat anything like that. Goth girls are the sexiest things alive. Don't matter. Don't matter. We're not gonna go there with what makes me tickled in the places in my brain. We don't need to go there. But it's like, yeah, that's fucking, I joke about it, obviously. I respect people that are into emo culture. They're just a different breed. That's all there is to it. They're not the same as goth. They're a subsect of our culture. And I say our culture because it's true. Like, it is definitely a shared culture that we all have. But, like, goth culture to me is, like, much less about embracing depression and just finding ways to move through it and better yourself. That's something that out of all the people I know that are goths, or were goths, well, by the way, you never stop. Like, we all kind of have this mutual understanding that, like, we are really depressed people, but we all are kind of weird, artsy people, and that's what helps us cope through it, and we're not really letting depression get to us. We use it as a vector to, oh, listen to me. I'm using big words because I'm a goth, by the way. That's why. We use big words because it makes us feel smart. And then we're all also artsy and make pretentious shit so people take us seriously. But yeah, a lot of goth culture uses vectors such as depression to, like, move through, like, difficult or depressing topics. Like, that's why I'm always like, man, you think fucking... Oh, we're such a progressive culture because we embrace gay people now. It's like, what do you think fucking metal, punk, and goth culture has been doing for fucking ages, dude? You didn't fucking invent the wheel. I hate to say when people are like, oh, I'm so woke. Well, first of all, if you label yourself as woke, there's something grossly wrong with you. That's just weird. Don't subject yourself to, like, terms like that for just what is called basic human decency. But, like, I'll be that guy that's, like, fucking gatekeeping it and say, we already knew about it, dude. No big deal. You know how many, like, people I knew that were goth and bi? Fucking dozens. You know how many people I knew that were, like, trans before high school? Probably, like, a few, but, like, well, you get the idea that they might be. But, like, you know who is the most accepting of all of us? The fucking people that are like, oh yeah, whatever. People are people. Let them be. They just do their own thing. Makes them happy. Cool. Go for it, man. That's what I mean. It's like, that's... Oh, I fucking hate when people try to, like, appropriate goth culture or, like, woke culture or ideology. I'm getting real deep this episode for no real reason. I'm sorry, but it's like, oh Jesus, it's on my mind a lot. But you know, it's like people go, oh fucking, it's all a bunch of teenagers. It's like, I don't know, man. I've met more people that were into goth aesthetic and stuff that never really quote unquote grew up or grew out of it. I mean, I certainly haven't, but I'm also a fucking 10-year-old in my brain, because I'm like, oh, the man said dicks on TV. Like, because I'm fucking stupid. Just because I don't wear eyeliner and black makeup does not make me not goth. I'm genuinely the embodiment of that culture, if I hate to tell you. I could tell you for hours about how, like, culturally awakened I am as a human being from when I was a younger kid. I used to be fucking awful as a kid, man. We all were, but you know what? I think the good thing is we all can kind of just go, yeah, we're just a bunch of shitlords because kids are shit. But it's like, I don't know, man. I just cringe when people try to, like, what's virtue signaling? That's the term I'm looking for. They virtue signal that they're like, oh, look at me, I have a gay friend, I collect them like fucking Pokemon. It's like, you're weird, and there's something wrong with you. Like, there's something clinically, medically wrong with you to just have to, like, get validation from people that you... That's like saying I'm not racist because I have a black neighbor. Like, I mean, that's true, my neighbor is black. But, like, he's fucking rad. It doesn't mean, oh, Ed's cool because he's black and I'm trying to, like, avoid, like, racism because I live in Oregon and, like, there's a lot of white people. It's like... Or Ed's just a really cool dude and I talk to him all the fucking time outside and we have, like, a really cool, like, neighbor relationship and we help each other out all the fucking time because we're regular human beings and have normal thoughts. I'm sure Ed doesn't go around going, my white neighbor friend. That's fucking weird. No one does that. That's just gross and weird. Jesus Christ, this is a serious episode. I am so sorry. I didn't mean it to get this deep. But hey, at least if you're new to my channel, you have some critical insights into Seth's tortured little psyche. And you can get some goth starter kit stuff too. You can understand how we operate, right? Don't fucking appropriate us. That's all I can say. Don't be like the sheep. Don't do it. We almost died like every time we went in the nether, but goddamn, look at that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. All that good shit. I don't care about these pants. You know what? I'm going to do it before we even end the video. We have to do it. We need to do this. Actually, let me put this all away, then we'll go do it. Get in there and do it. Where's my... No. If you've been watching the series long enough by now, you know what I'm gonna do. You know what they did. They know what they did. Oh, we need food to get there, though. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking die. Where's my... No. Is it apples? I don't know what they need. Doesn't matter. Give me some steakums, baby. But I mean, it's true. I hate when people are just like, oh, I'm so culturally aware, and I'm so like... It's like, fucking gross. What's wrong with you? You're fucking... A, you're being a poser. B, you're not being genuine. And C, you're fucking weird. Like... I love how people are like, oh, you can't judge people in this day and age. It's like, yeah, you can if you're fucking someone like me. You're like, those people are strange. I'm sorry. I'm as, like, quote-unquote liberally minded as the next person. I'm not a liberal, technically, but, like, oh, man, fucking people that are just weird. I don't know why people in this day and age are so, like, fixated on social politics for, like, clout, fucking strange shit. I don't get it. I really don't. It genuinely makes me uncomfortable. I'm like... I mean, it's like when at work we had this, like... I mean, this isn't breaking work stuff, obviously, because I don't want to do that, because we do handle a lot of confidential shit every now and then, but, you know what I mean? Like, it's a policy thing. You can't talk about your works like fucking things, but it was like a generic video we had to watch on, like, fucking bias and, like, identity bias. It's like, and they give you, like, a loaded answer between, would you choose the Asian woman or the white male? It's like... Jesus Christ, it's like, you chose this likely because of this. It's like, no, I chose the answer because it's a loaded question, and I know this is this fucking thing designed for, like, 80-year-old psychopaths that, like, walk around our country still and think it's like the fucking Civil War, okay? I'm not that stupid. I know why they do this. It's so companies can have that prevention from, like, people going batshit and doing dumb things because of, like, I gotta work with the gay man? Oh no, this company's gone to hell. I'm not even exaggerating. That's genuinely why they do it. They do that so they fucking can cover their ass in legal battles like that from dumb people. That's why they do that. The average everyday person's more fucking, like, just, it's patronizing and it's so fucking stupid. See? This is why I'm like, you don't get it if you aren't, you were on the inside, you're on the outside. You don't get it. You just don't know, man. You just don't know. You just gotta stop looking at the ground. Gotta start looking for real answers, okay? Gotta stop looking at these soggy-ass internet dwellers. You get off your soggy ass, you go out there and you find it, okay? You do it. I'm just tired of looking at the ground, okay? Yeah. You don't want to be one of those dumb window lickers. If you know what I'm talking about, you're great. But, it's true. I get fucking so uneased by weird, just people that define themselves by their either hobbies. It's why I'm like, I don't believe in, like, nerd culture. I'm like, you just like stuff that people like. What's wrong with that? I don't even like Star Trek that much. I just like fucking Voyager. That doesn't make me a nerd. I like heavy metal more than I like fucking video games. Like, just because I like Minecraft, does that make me a nerd? Do I have to identify myself by other people, by my own fucking hobbies? That's weird. I don't like being boxed in by, like, social norms. You'd be like, oh, it sounds like you're an A or a B. Me and my roommate and other friends have taken these tests. I don't really have one or the other. I'm genuinely straight down the middle with most of these things. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Can I not give you... Can I give you the armor? I want to give you the armor. No. How do I do it? Do I do this? No. I guess they just can't wear diamond armor. That's fine. So yeah, we got our Skeleman horse. Fucking, you know what we're gonna call him, don't you? You probably already have an idea. It's Skelomania! That's the name of this horse. But that's why people like me get, like, red flags when people say words like, oh, SJWs. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. That's a pejorative for a reason, because of idiots. It's like, or some people, that fucking panda bear piece of shit. I saw it like a while back. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Oh, I was gonna say, I'm gonna light it on fire, but I'm I'm a little short on flint and steel right now. But no, it's like, you know what the best thing in life to do is just go about your life, do your own thing, interact with the people you care about, don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things. That's what my grandma taught me, and it's true. You want some ancient, wise Native American logic right there? That's a proverb from my people. That's actually Kind of a half-truth. That's obviously not a proverb. My great-grandma, who was like full-blown Cherokee, just said that all the time. Don't sweat the petty things and don't pet the sweaty things. You know, she's not wrong. I mean, it just means don't worry about it. Just fucking worry about what's important. And that's all you really should do in life. Just play Minecraft. Go out there and play Minecraft. Go out there and dig a hole in the ground. In real life. Go out there, shovel in hand, preferably call 811 before you dig and you get fucking electrocuted. Just go dig a hole in the ground, man. Just find your fucking mountain in life and climb it. Okay? Just look out there. Look on the inside when you climb that mountain and you see who you are. You'll realize a lot of things in life are small. And not anything that we complain about in this day and age is important. It's just what you make of it. And you know what? The faster you realize that, the happier you're gonna be. Because we got a fucking skeleton horse here!